Hey, this is Joe Cash, and welcome back to Beginning Guitar for Worship Leaders. Hey, I hope that last section, are we on video 16? Maybe. Anyway, the last one on the capos, man, I just hope that really got a hold of you. But, you know, I am going to do this for the sake of really saying we did something with bar chords, just so we understand the basis. A bar chord is usually rooted off of the 5th or 6th string, okay? And that's why I asked you to kind of try to memorize those notes. And basically what you're doing is you're moving a movable chord, okay? You're moving a form and moving it up and down the neck. One of the most common ones that's used is E, okay? And E, like I told you when we did the key of E, I love the key of E. But the key of E, if we take that and we bar it on the first fret, it becomes F. Why? Because the first note here is an F, F sharp, 2nd fret, G, 3rd fret, G sharp, 4th fret, A, and we can claw this, okay? A you can claw. You can either smash it all the way down or claw in that one clawed position that we talked about where I still got my E form, but I'm only touching the bass note on the A. You can do the same thing in moving it up to the 7th fret. It becomes a B. And you know, you can keep going if you want. You can move it up from the 7th fret to the 9th fret and it's a C sharp, and I'm going to have to bar the whole thing then. Okay, and then D on the 10th, and then of course if you come up to the 12th, you're back to what? We're starting all over. But you can see how twingy that sounds. So that's a movable E chord, okay? The next movable E chord that's most common used is A, which is your D, G, and B pressed down on the 2nd fret, okay? And of course the A comes from the A open note, but it's a 5th note. So the E was rooted off the 6th string or E string. The A movable bar chord is rooted on the 5th string. So if we take A and we move it down a whole step, or even a half step, that was that B flat that we did in C, wasn't it? Now you see me mashing this. I guess we could, if we wanted to, we could play these three, but you can tell even I would struggle to do that. So I do what's called a mash, okay? Just all 3 strings mashed down. B flat on the 1st fret, B on the 2nd, C on the 3rd, C sharp on the 4th, D on the 5th, E sharp, E flat on the 6th, E on the 7th, F on the 8th, F sharp on the 9th, G on the 10th, G sharp, and then when we repeat on the 12th, we're back to A. Okay? So, now, all those, that A, that we turn into an A minor, is the same thing we did for B minor, C sharp minor, D minor, E minor, okay? So all I did is I took and moved the A minor down. And the same thing from the E, and I should have done that at that point, I apologize, but when you take that first finger out, it becomes a minor, doesn't it? So you have F minor, F sharp minor, G minor, G sharp minor, A minor, A sharp or B flat minor, B minor, C minor, C sharp minor, D minor, and of course it's going to just, oops, sorry about that. I lost you, didn't I? So we got a little bit further out of distance. I apologize for that. But those are full bar chords, okay? But those clawed chords are a lot easier, aren't they? Hey, I'm telling you, That's why I showed you right away. I think that Claude chords are wonderful. The Claude chords we talked about, like the F sharp minor, where you're only having to press 3 strings instead of 6 all the way down. And then the other 3 that are open, well, one actually becomes muted, and we talked a little bit about that. The A string is usually the one that ends up muted in those minor 7th Claude chords. That was that one like the F sharp minor, where what you're going to basically do, this just a little bit, come down the 2nd fret. We're going to grab that F sharp right there on the 2nd string, on the E string 2nd fret. Then we're going to skip the A string and drop it down on the D and the G, and that's that G sharp minor. And of course, if we slide that down 2 steps, we got G sharp minor. Okay. If we slide it down 1 more, we got an A minor. We go to the 7th fret, we got a beautiful B minor. If we go to the 9th fret, we got a C sharp minor. And then if we go up to the 12th fret, we repeat. And we're right back to an E minor 7th. But that's just, to me, a lot easier. And like I said, yep. So you can do, that's just, and all I was doing is sliding things around. I wasn't really doing that much. Playing 3 strings and muting the A string with my first finger. I mean, and it's going to happen. That's going to happen. The other one we talked about was the 5 chord. Remember that? E5 is probably most popular when we talk about 5 chords. If we take that B minor, we lift your first finger out of that, and then we simply claw. We grab the B off of the A string 2nd fret, and we just drop down to the next 2, which is your D and your G. That's basically a 5 chord, and I'm playing it by grabbing the bass off the B. So B on 2nd fret, C sharp minor 4th fret. You could make it a D. If you go up to the 7th, you've got an E, and that's the one you hear. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see. I want to see. So that's that one you see on that Claude chord. And that's it. And all I did to grab that the major 7, I lifted my pinky off and dropped my middle finger or number 2 finger right behind it. Lift, major 7th, and you can lift that from an E up to the 9th fret, which is an F sharp minor, and you can actually pick up a kind of a cool G. I actually use that in one of my songs. It's just a different type of G, isn't it? It can be a G with an E. You get a G sharp minor coming up on the 11th fret. Isn't that beautiful? It's just beautiful. I'm going to write some songs with that one. I can tell you that right now, just to feel the anointing. And then we go up to an A, okay? But this is the day. What do I want in this life? My time on earth is passing so very fast. So many choices to make, but only the ones for God's kingdom to last. Then I go right to a C sharp minor. This is the day to a B, this is the time to an A, this is the hour. C sharp, the life I live, I long to be filled with God's holy power. And all of those are 5 chords. And I mean, it's, once you get it, it's an addiction. Okay, it really is. You just are going to start trying and you're playing those progressions and seeing what sounds good to you, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. I can't believe I've only been at this bar chord one for almost 10 minutes. let's see, I covered my minor 7th, 1 down, we covered the A form, E form. There are other little ones, I mean, that you can move. I think I talked briefly to you about the C that I every once in a while will slide up. And even though it's a C to an E, I'm leaving it open. Can't really bring that one too much further without putting a capo or something on it, but it's just pretty. C, D. You can do the same thing with F. That's F form. Sliding it up. G, A, off the 5th fret. 7th fret becomes a B. So you know, if you want just different. So just it depends on what you're trying to get. Another one you can do is, you saw me do the claw chord. If you take the claw chord, that minor 7th, and just drop it down 1 string. Drop your index finger to the, well, let's like a C. Let's just go to a C. If you go to the 3rd fret and grab the C here, and then drop down on the G and B. Actually, I'm sorry, on the B and E string. That's called a 2 chord. Okay, no finger there, just those 3. I can move that one down too. I can make a C, D, off the 4th fret, coming down to the 7th fret. Nice E minor, isn't that pretty? And I've opened up the wells. But that's what it is. I'm just kind of sliding from this minor 7th onto that C, which is the 3rd fret, going up to making D here, and then that E minor 7th. Just pretty. Just little things that can go a long way. Sliding it down. Open up the wells, living water flow, flood my inner man, deep within my soul, holy fount of life, spring up in me, will your mercy, grace, and love saturate me completely. So you see, we can, I mean, there's so many fun things to do. And, you know, these things, I want you to know, these clawed chords, I did not even know of them for some reason. I don't know why. Probably my fault for not searching deep enough into it. But almost up until the year like 2000, even 2002, maybe in 3, and I probably didn't start writing songs with them probably into 04 or 05. I mean, just and even from that point here recently, you know, 06, 07. I mean, some of the conferences we've done, I wrote a song, "Rest in Me," with that minor 7th one, coming up to an A minor, sliding it down. All I'm doing is lifting one finger up, putting another finger down, picking up a bass, and then playing like an F major 7th. You know, just little things like that. If you capo that, where you go, I'll go. What you say, I'll say. And Brian, that song is it's just amazing. It really is. Just can take you different places. Where you go, I'll go. What you say, I'll say. What you pray, I'll pray. I mean, hey, it'll mess you up. And so that's basically what I want to do is mess you up, okay? Mess you up good so that you can take this and go with it and run with it. And hey, I'll say this. If this takes you 2 years, it's worth it. It's worth it. And I don't expect, especially if you're a beginner, a lot of this is it's probably overwhelming. And you know what? It's worth it for me to give you this in a concentrated effort, because I know if you take it, and remember, if you practice the clarity before speed, and just work with it, and worship with it, and slow it down, and just let it get into you, and let your devotional life begin to overflow, things are going to happen. It really is. And it going to bring healing too to a lot of people. Let me tell you something. Healing is a natural overflow in worship. It's a natural overflow. I've seen hearts healed. I've seen eyes healed. Knees healed. Without even saying, okay, let's lay hands on this individual. It's just, worship is a magnet. The power of God shows up, and incredible things, our emotions, our past, sozo, salvation is an ongoing process. And so you become an instrument to bring sozo into people's lives. And like David did. David was an instrument for Saul. David started out a little 13, 14, 15-year-old kid just out there, wow, the heavens declare the glories of God. These guys proclaim the works of your hand, Lord. This is awesome. Wait, there's a bear. But it came from worship. There's a wolf. That's how he trained, man. He was a worshiper, and he all of a sudden realized, like, the power of God would fill him, and he took a heart to those sheep, and he wasn't going to let anybody mess with those sheep. And he took it to Goliath. And you're going to take it to the Goliaths of this day and time. Beloved one, hear me out. You will. The giants will fall. The shadows will flee. And it's amazing. It's an amazing process. Hey, this is Joe Cash. I want to take a section. This is either 16 or 17. Hope you've been keeping track. This one's for bar chords. Hey, I'm coming back with either 17 or 18 for scales, okay? Just got to hit on it. Hey, there's additional chords. Go through it. Hey, mostly, love God. Have fun. Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for the blessing. I know this has been just for me to do this, Lord. What an honor it is, Lord, to serve you and to love you and to worship you. And I pray, God, for your beloved ones. Who is this rising up in the wilderness? Leaning on his and her beloved. Lean into Jesus with your weaknesses. And his weaknesses, he'll be made strong. And he'll rise up. And God will arise, and his enemies will be scattered. Arise and shine, for your light has come. You are a light in this world. You are meant to illuminate. Nothing to cover you. No more sorrow, no more shame. No more fear, no more pain. Worship through that, and watch what happens. So. Hey, this is Joe Cash. This is the video 17 or 18, and we're signing out when we come back to the final section of scales. God bless you.